I was 3 hours into rotoscoping a client video when Generative Fill popped into my head, so I tested it on one shot just to see, and what took me 45 minutes to mask manually was done in 90 seconds. That one experiment completely rewired how I approach Adobe, and here's what changed. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the 3 Adobe AI tools actually worth your time. I'll walk you through the specific sequence for chaining them together. And I'll reveal the hidden bottleneck that almost wiped out every gain I made. At the end, I'll show you where the 10x actually comes from, because it's not what most tutorials tell you. Before Adobe AI, my workflow was a disaster. Background removal, color grading, asset resizing for different formats, those tasks alone were eating 60 to 70% of every project. I was spending maybe 30% of my time on actual creative decisions. The rest was execution grunt work. And here's the thing most tutorials skip entirely: there are specific Adobe AI features buried inside tools you already own that almost nobody talks about. Those turned out to be the most impactful ones I found. More on that shortly. So let's talk about the tools that actually matter. There are 3: Firefly, Generative Fill inside Photoshop, and the AI audio tools inside Premiere Pro. That's the core trio. Everything else is secondary noise. Firefly handles asset generation, backgrounds, textures, graphic elements, without you touching a stock photo site. Generative Fill handles scene extension and background replacement directly inside Photoshop. It's faster and more accurate than manual masking. And Premiere's AI audio cleanup, specifically the enhanced speech tool, removes room noise and levels dialogue in one click. You haven't done a single manual edit yet. Individually, each one saves you time. But knowing the tools is only half the story. How you connect them is where the real savings are hiding. Here's the chain nobody talks about. You generate your visual assets in Firefly. Sync them directly into Premiere via Creative Cloud libraries, no exporting, no file dragging. Then apply autocolor in Lumetri, followed immediately by AI audio cleanup. In that exact sequence. Why does sequence matter? Autocolor sets your visual baseline before you introduce any manually generated assets. Cleaning audio before manual editing means you're not correcting problems the AI already removed. I cut my revision cycles by more than half just by locking in this order. Quick note: if you find this useful, subscribing takes 2 seconds and it genuinely helps me keep making these. Now, back to the workflow. But even with this chain in place, I kept hitting one bottleneck that almost cancelled out every gain. Here it is. AI-generated assets from Firefly are only consistent if your prompts are consistent. I wasn't controlling that up front. So halfway through a project, my AI-generated backgrounds looked like they came from 3 different designers. That forced manual correction, and manually correcting visual inconsistency is the single most time-consuming fix in any creative project. The fix was simple but non-obvious: build a style prompt library before you open a single file. A short document with your locked descriptors, lighting style, color temperature, texture keywords, aspect ratio. Every Firefly prompt pulls from that library. Suddenly, every asset looks like it belongs in the same project. No manual cleanup. Did you know Firefly's style reference feature lets you upload a reference image? It anchors every generation to the same visual language. Most people ignore it entirely. That one setting alone saved me hours. Once the bottleneck was gone, the compounding effect became obvious. And here's the actual reveal: the 10x doesn't come from any single tool. It comes from the fact that each completed project becomes a faster starting point for the next one. Your saved Creative Cloud libraries carry forward. Your prompt library refines itself. Your Premiere sequence template already has AI audio cleanup baked in. The automation stacks. Project 3 is dramatically faster than Project 1. Not because you learned new tools, but because you stopped starting from zero. 5 things you can do today. 1. Build a Firefly-style prompt library before your next project starts. 2. Connect Photoshop and Premiere through Creative Cloud libraries and stop exporting manually. 3. Use Generative Fill for scene extension instead of stock photos. 4. Run Premiere's enhanced speech before any manual audio work. 5. Save each finished project as a template so the next one inherits everything. If this saved you time or changed how you think about Adobe, subscribe. I post every week and the next video covers building a full AI asset pipeline from scratch in under an hour. One question for the comments: what's the one creative task you'd most want to automate? Drop it below, it might become the next video.